What's up everyone, this is Ben Zinn from nextlevelguitar.com. Today we're continuing with our Inspired By video lesson series, and we're going to take a look at a really cool right hand picking pattern that we can use for some of our acoustic progressions. Hey everyone, before we continue, make sure that you click on the text box below, the YouTube text box. We have a link there that will direct you to a free video lesson and a coinciding ebook from nextlevelguitar.com. It's not available on YouTube, so take a look at that and we'll continue on. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is a really great pattern that you can, once you learn it, you can apply it to all sorts of chord progressions. You can do a lot with it. So really the lesson is going to be about the right hand pattern, and then we'll learn some chords and some cool things that we can do with that. But really you can have a lot of fun just interchanging any sort of chord progressions that you want once you have the right hand pattern. So a lot of times when I'm working on something with my right hand, I like to isolate it, and I'll actually kind of cover the strings over here so I can really focus in on exactly what my right hand is doing. So we're going to deaden our left hand here. We're just going to cover the strings and learn what strings we're playing in what order, and then we'll add the chords back in. So let's start by taking a look at our finger assignments on our picking hand here. Our thumb is going to be responsible for all of the bass strings, strings 6, 5, and 4. My index finger is always going to be playing string 3. My middle finger will play string 2, and my ring finger will play string 1. I like to keep my pinky anchored against the guitar here. Some guys will tell you that that's a bad habit to get into. Maybe it is if you're playing classical style a lot of the time, but if you're just doing something folky like this, I think it's okay, and it helps me to balance my fingers. So try that if it helps you, and if not, you can do your own thing. The main thing is to keep the finger assignments the way that we're showing them here. So what we're going to do with our pattern is first of all strike strings 5 and 1 together. And again, I'm muting the left hand notes here just so we can concentrate on the right hand portion. So I'm going to play strings 5 and 1 together, thumb on string 4, then index finger on string 3. So far 5 and 1 together, 4, 3. Then we go to string 6 with the thumb, adding another note, 5 and 1 together, 4, 3, 6, 2. Almost all the way there now. The last note will just be another thumb strike on the 4th string. So here's your complete picking pattern slowed down. The count of this is 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Here it is with the pattern. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now let's just go ahead and hold on a D chord so we can hear that with more in context here. Here's the exact same picking pattern, now holding down a chord. Don't worry about that repeating that until you can play it all the way through nice and smooth, one time each. And once you can, try looping that and repeating that. Okay, so now that we have the picking hand portion, let's turn our attention to the fretting hand and take a look at some of the chord progressions and different things we can do with moving throughout our fretboard with this picking pattern now. Now I should note that we are in drop D tuning, so you'll want to lower string 6 to a D. What's really cool about this is it creates this open D power chord that is going to kind of serve as a bed for our chord progressions to sit on as we move across the fretboard. What makes this thing work is the fact that we're keeping that sort of low D sound, that low D5 sound, even as I'm changing chords. So for example, here I'm moving to a G chord, but I still have my low strings 4, 5, and 6 creating that open D droning power chord. Kind of gives you a nice sounding chord there that you can work with. Same thing up here at an A triad, but with the low strings ringing out. So let's take you through a couple of progressions that will work out really well with this concept. Using some of the chords we just took a look at, I'm going to go from my open position D to that G, to an A, back to G, and back to D. So putting that all together, no stops. So that's one progression that will work out really well. Another great trick that you can use is to play your D inversions all the way up the neck with this finger picking pattern. So let's take you through some of those inversions. First, again, my old familiar shape down here. Then in 5th position. And you notice everything that I'm fretting is just on strings 1, 2, and 3. So you can really just concern yourself with the notes and the shapes on those strings, because we're always keeping strings 4, 5, and 6 open with this pattern. And my last inversion up here, the 10th fret. Using that same pattern, let's take you through each of those 3 inversions now. So the main idea here is to find triad shapes, or 3-note chords that work on strings 1, 2, and 3, and just apply them to your fingerpicking pattern. Let's take a look at one more example. I'm going to revisit my 10th fret D inversion up here. Then I'm going to go to an inversion of an A chord. Then to an inversion of a G, and finally end up on my D that we just learned. Now let's put that into motion. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some jumping off points that you can use once you have this finger picking pattern down. As you can see, it's a lot of fun to just experiment with some of the chord shapes up and down the neck. Keep trying new possibilities. You're bound to stumble upon some cool stuff. And thanks again so much for joining us today. Once again, this is Ben Zinn for nextlevelguitar.com. Make sure that you go to the website. We have over 1,000 different video lessons there for you. All different styles, all different skill levels. We have videos for beginner, intermediate, advanced, lots of great stuff. So be sure and check that out. Thanks again.